What's going on? We're back again with another podcast episode. This number three. Yeah, number three. We're here today with Jeremy Deg. And man, it's a pleasure. He's a coaching business coach. Majority of his clients is in agency space, right?
Yep. Yep.
I know he's based in Cali, and he's just a great guy, man. A lot of wisdom in today's podcast, and just want to talk about and chop off and his journey, what his journey has been, because his story is interesting. I want to share it with you guys, and stay tuned. Anyways, thank you for being here, bro. How's it been? And I'm gonna give you the floor first to kind of introduce yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Jeremy Deg. So yeah, I'm excited for this podcast. I know we did one before, like a long time ago. A lot has
100%.
changed. I'm pretty sure in both of our lives, a lot of stuff we've been through, a lot of scaling, ups and downs, even in business. Yeah, dude, pretty excited for this. So yeah, Jeremy Deg, I run Nomad Consulting, which is, focus on client acquisition, helping clients scale organically, agency owners, coaches, anyone get clients like literally just through social media, all organically through one social platform, really. But yeah, that's a little bit on me. I am 19 years old. I live here in LA.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people kind of I think it's interesting is because there's a lot of us in our like Gen Zs. I don't know how to say it, but like a lot of us, it's interesting because what do you think is like made you get into this, right? Because man, like there's not a lot of people like us. So when you look at it, majority of it, if you look at it in the eagle's eye perspective, it's rare for a kid, like a teenager, to even have a entrepreneurial mind and scaling their business like this.
Yeah. So like main things that got me into it, like I was dabbling into the space, honestly, when I was in eighth grade, probably like honestly like freshman year, eighth grade, around that, mainly freshman year. So like around I was 14, late 13, that kind of age, just like literally wanting to make money. I was like pretty much like I wanted the lifestyle. I just wanted the lifestyle. So I looked up, I was watching like a lot of Ty Lopez, even though he was like, I guess, hated. He has a special place in my heart because he started everything for me, So yeah, Ty Lopez bought his course. I remember that, it was like a social media marketing course.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So just like watching all that course content. And I remember like I wasn't really just like applying the knowledge. I was literally just like watching.
You just learning it?
Yeah, just learning it. And yeah, throughout high school, I just like was not like, I wasn't, I guess, like really just hitting the nail on it. I was just like watching a lot of content, just like not applying the knowledge and just like getting clients and stuff like that. So later down the line, I buy, this is like in high school as well. This is like maybe, junior year, but yeah, I buy, Iman Gaji's course. I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Iman Gaji is.
Everybody in the agency space knows that guy, bro.
Exactly. He's the one that started it all, really. Yeah. So invested into Iman Gaji's course, did the exact same thing, just reaped the knowledge, didn't apply it. And then same thing goes, like, I just like invested in his next course. It's just like a bunch of like buying courses, but like not actually like applying the knowledge. And this was all throughout high school. But like the one thing that always stuck was like my vision literally never died. It never like my vision from, that late 13-year-old Jeremy never died from when I was buying all these courses, all the way from maybe junior year, senior year, even now, So I always knew that I was going to like make it work. So that was like another reason why like I never really got a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You graduated high school, or are you still in high school?
I graduated. Yeah.
This year or?
I graduated 2020.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was 20. What? 2020? Why did you graduate 21?
You graduated 21?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
That's crazy, but I'm older.
No, I know. I thought you were 16 when we met in Seattle.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because I was born and raised in the Philippines, and then I moved here. Like the school system is different. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's interesting because, dude, when I graduated like 2020, it was
Mhm.
the easiest thing ever to graduate because like it
Mhm.
was all online. So one, you can forge everything, you can fake everything, and it's like no work whatsoever, just like simple
Yeah.
worksheets. And also like if you didn't do it, like it doesn't
Mhm.
matter either because you were still gonna
Yeah.
graduate because
Yeah,
like
they're gonna get an excuse. Yeah.
yeah, you have that like excuse. And like in terms of graduation, it was literally just a YouTube live of them saying names. I'm
I
like,
know.
it was the craziest thing.
What did you miss that part of high school or not really? Like,
Honestly, like I don't miss high school entirely, but
oh
I
really?
wish I had the experiences that,
Hmm.
regular high schoolers want in high school.
Uh
That's like one thing. Like I was like so focused on I guess like on myself and just like
yeah.
so inside. I wasn't really like expressive, really,
Hmm.
wasn't expressive really in high school. I didn't want to do the things I wanted to do in high school, just like a lot of stuff
Right.
that I should have done. But, that's what really just
Hmm.
sets me like, sets me apart from my story now. Because like, if I
100%.
didn't go through that stuff in high school and even like at the end of high school, just stuff like that, I wouldn't be who I am today, the person who I am today. Just like a lot of, in terms of like a lot of like
Hmm.
bad friends, bad circles, which is like really a portrayal of like who I am. If I
Right.
have bad friends, I'm probably just, I guess, like a not an insecure person, stuff like that. But yeah, just like not the best person, not the best attitude in terms of like life and all that kind of stuff. Just like
Mm.
really, just like a very timid, social, anxious kid in high school, just like wanting to have, these cool, I guess, really like this cool popular crowd, but like was just super insecure to even approach people. So that was like me in high school. But again, I'm very glad that I went through that because now I'm really the exact opposite when it comes to like outside high school. I'm very expressive. In public, I'll literally just like I don't really care about anything. I'm just like more than happy to give anyone like a really fun experience in public. If I see someone shy, like if I see someone in the friend group is shy, make sure they're having a good experience. So anything like that. So I'm very
Yeah.
grateful that I'm be able to like be expressive outside of high school and just like have that sociability, just like personability as well.
Yeah. I mean, man, that's interesting because in our age, I mean, like, it's fair to say, oh, I don't really miss high school. Like, if I would ask someone, I'm pretty sure they'd be like, yeah, man, I wish I missed my days in high school or something. Oh, back in the day, blah, blah, blah. They always talk about that.
Mhm.
But I think what was the going backtrack a little bit, what was
Yep.
the mindset shift or the shift that happened? Because you said you were buying courses and then you were just like you were learning it, but you were not taking the action. What was the shift that happened? Or yeah.
Yeah. I realized that I was doing analysis paralysis, which is like just reaping the knowledge, but really not taking action. Like, okay, like why am I buying all these courses when I'm just going to be in the same spot, just not doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized that that's when I realized like I needed more action to do. And I needed more of like, even like a mentor, really. So I went into, Trey Cockrum's, Instagram, just like seeing what he was doing. Like, okay, cool. Like he's going to, like, he literally coaches people. Like it's not like a course, you know?
Right.
And yeah, so I remember like hopping on a sales call with them, just like literally saying my current situation, I've invested in these amount of courses, didn't make things work, stuff like that. So that was like for 4 years investing into courses,
4 years.
anything. Yeah. Like that was, so I hop on a call with him after high school and yeah, investing in courses since basically, like after eighth grade, which is more so 5 years if you really do the math. But yeah, dude, investing in courses, no clients, no sales calls,
That's
whatsoever.
crazy.
Yeah. So I guess it's a more so a longer story than it really seems.
Yeah, no, let's break it down, bro, because I'm interested. Like the what was the mindset shift, man? Like I'm still trying to get the deep down because you were learning it, the analysis paralysis. Why do you think was that? Because a lot of people are like that, right? Oh,
Yeah.
eventually I'll come around it and then I'll take action, but they never do.
Dude, I think it was me being real with myself. I was like, dude, you're not doing shit. It's been 4 years and you said you were going to get a client in 8th grade in your first month or so.
You
Like,
just
what do you
got full of
think?
it.
Yeah, I got really real with myself. Like I was like
Yeah.
destroying myself, which is like, yeah, just being hard on myself. I think that's like, some people aren't hard on themselves. They lie to themselves a lot. They're very like emotional thinkers. And if you're like an emotional thinker, you obviously don't think logically and you just live in this like fantasy world of, things will go right. Things will go to me, stuff like that, when really you should just be taking action. And when you take action, things will come to you. So it's like, there's kind of like backwards thinking of people saying, yeah, things will come to me in the right time, in divine timing. Well, you're sitting on your couch, not doing shit. What's going to come to you? Like, what do you expect? Like, so it's like taking imperfect action. As you take imperfect action, things will come to you. So that was my biggest realization. Like, just being real with myself, like, you got to take action. Nothing's coming to you. You're not manifesting anything if you're just doing bullshit. Fucking.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Like the whole movement about the manifestation and all that thing.
I was a big spiritual guy in for a bit. I was like, dude, I was so weird. Oh my God. I was like, I was like crystals, sun gazing, walking on grass, just random, I guess like those are good things. It's nature, right? But like at the same time, I'm not doing like, I thought I was like the top, like the man. Just like, I'm the best ever. Like I'm on top of the world. I'm the chosen one. While I'm just like walking on grass. And then as I go back inside, I'm like 8 hours straight on my phone. Just from like it's something like, it's like bullshit,
Yeah, bro. A lot of people are like that. They feel like they deserve shit, but like they don't work for it.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta like the biggest realization I learned from Trey was like, you are where you're at now because you deserve it. If you have, no clients right now, it's because you deserve it. If you basically like don't have, the dream lifestyle you want, it's because you deserve it at this current moment. It's not saying that it's not a bad thing. It's just like, this is what you deserve at this moment. It's not like saying like, oh, you deserve the worst. No, like this is where you are currently at and what like your standard of living is. But then when you take that imperfect action and just like just go like take action every single day imperfectly, no matter what your emotions are, then your standard of living raises, you get clients, it just happens like over time.
No, for sure. Because I think a lot of people think it's, actually, I kind of want to talk about that, the imperfect actions, because like personally, me and you, we have like a pretty good relationship about like, when we talk about prospecting and just building the business. Man, I'm interested on like some of the things that you went through to get where you're at, because like when you're starting, you get a lot of no's and then a lot of insults and all these things, man. And then I'm pretty sure you're still experiencing those things. So like, tell me more about that.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad you brought that up, because like with no's and rejection, like I didn't see them. I just saw them as like purely logical in business. Like no's are purely logical. And what I mean by that is like, if I get a no, then okay, like that's fine. How many more no's until I get a yes? You know what I mean? So let's say, at the beginning, I had a closing rate of like 1 in 10. And I realized that. I say, cool. So let me run through all 10 of these sales calls so that I can get to the 11th and just get a yes. Like, okay, you reject. Cool. Let's move on. It's not like, this guy rejected me. Fuck, I should have closed. It's like, no, I understand my closing rate. I'm gonna get through these 10 no's and I'm gonna sign my client. You know what I mean? And then also like bridging that gap. So, kind of like making my sales process good so that I can bridge that gap and make it 1 in 5 now. You know what I mean? So 1 in 5. So I'll bridge through all five of these calls and, get my first or get my one sales call that I close. So not seeing it as rejection, but more so just like making it as logical as possible. Like just making it a numbers game, because That's literally all it is, Like I get like kicked in the teeth in Messenger a lot of the times, but I don't care. I'm booking calls, That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So what's the like, let's say someone want to get into, like, what do you do, and then like what do you kind of just explain to me, like, on how you're building your business right now, and what do you do, like what service do you provide?
Yeah. So the service I provide is like purely coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a beginner or whether you're at 10K and just like want more clients, purely
Mm-hmm.
coaching, it's purely tailored to your situation. But like really, like we help with marketing, because that's like literally like the lifeblood of business. So that's why I focus so heavy on it. And that's like really where my expertise is, just like getting a ton of clients and just getting a ton of clients through social media, just getting a ton of meetings through social media. So yeah, just like whether you're a beginner, whether you're at 0 or whether you're at 10K, if you want a ton of clients, we help you with that, mainly with marketing. Because like something I heard from Jeremy, both of our coaches that we have, he kind of looked at it this way, like the human body and like business is like very similar. I made a reel about this as well, actually. But yeah, human body and business is very similar. They both need blood flow, which is like, if blood stops flowing throughout your body, then you obviously just like end up dying. Same thing with business. Right. If lead flow stops flowing throughout your business, no matter if you have the best offer in place, no matter if you have the best sales skills in place, if leads stop flowing through your body, it's just going to die. So that's why I focus so heavy on organic marketing, because you just get an abundant amount of like leads coming in. Even if you have the worst sales closing rate, you'll still close some clients. Because you just have like a ton of leads coming in, a ton of like clients, prospects coming in. So that's why I focus so heavy on it. And even if you're at that beginning stage, it's very valuable because you need leads coming in. So yeah.
What was it like on your first client? Like, because you probably had that, and then how was the fulfillment like? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there are kind of like, personally me too, and it's like, and like, oh shoot, I don't know, but I know you can deliver this. Personally, I know I can deliver the results, but like, how does that go? How did you structure it?
Yeah. So my first client was in Facebook ads. My e-com agency.
Oh yeah, you had an agency before this, like for Facebook ads.
Yeah. So with my Facebook ad agency, I remember the first time I signed her, it was funny. I remember like it was the back of my hand. It was in October. Yeah. Are you familiar with Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios?
I think nah.
No. So it's like a Halloween thing where you like people like try to scare you and shit. Like it's like a
okay
park. Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I remember that. It was like 12 in the morning. Like I was just with my cousins and my sister. We were in Halloween Horror Nights. I remember checking my messenger, and then the client or the prospect I had a call with wanted to hop on board. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Halloween Horror Nights. So I remember I sit down, I send over the invoice through phone, and I never sent an invoice before. So I'm like, how do I send this? It's through Stripe. So yeah, I eventually send it over. And she goes like, oh, I can't fill it out. Like it's saying it's like wrong. I'm like, oh shit, what did I do wrong? So yeah, I remember just like panicking because like it was like a $1,500 invoice. I'm like, imagine I sign this while in Horror Nights. That'd be sick as fuck. So
no, 100%.
Yeah. So I remember doing that, but like the invoice was just like wrong. I'm like, oh, whatever. I just, let's see, maybe next time, like maybe tomorrow I can get her as a client. So yeah, I remember the next morning I resend that invoice and I have like a call with her, and then she just pays on the phone. I'm like, what the fuck, $1,500? Like, how did I do this? I didn't have a job. Like the agency was my first job ever. So I had no way of getting like money on my loan sum. Like $1,500. Like if I were to work a job, I would make $1,000 for the month, working at maybe like the grocery store,
for 40 hours.
For 40 hours. Took a 30-minute call and then a 5-minute follow-up. And I sent the invoice while I was playing in fucking Universal Studios, right? So I had that realization. I'm like, damn, what can I do with like getting more clients and stuff like that? But yeah, dude, in terms of the fulfillment side, I hired a media buyer. Facebook ads, media bar. So she was a kind of, I was running ads for her. The fulfillment side was not the best, to be honest, because like it was my first client, obviously. So the fulfillment side in the beginning is always going to be like a little bit, a little bit wonky, a little bit unstable. But honestly, like as long as you actually like try your best to serve, then you're totally fine.
It's even those imperfect actions, man.
Imperfect action for sure. I remember even in the beginning of my coaching, like I was scared to coach. I'm like, how do I coach? Like what do I do? And then as I just like served these people, just like started, showing them how I book calls, they're like, whoa, I never booked calls like this before. How I do a cold email. I'm like, whoa, you like this? Like shit.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just like serving them. Honestly, like it's just a matter of like serving to the best of your ability and knowing that you're coaching them because they see the value in you. And also that you know exactly what you're doing, because one, even if it's your first client, like you know how to sign clients. So you can show them exactly how to sign clients because you signed them, even if it's your first client. You know what I mean? So it's really like if you can sell, if you have like literally one step ahead of somebody, you can sell them that step for $3,000, It's like, that's like the biggest thing. So yeah, like serve to the best of your ability and what you do is valuable.
Right. So if you're starting, because we're kind of in a different space right now. I'm in the agent space, you're in coaching right now. Should you stick at one niche when you're starting out, or should you try out multiple ones and then niche down?
I'd say stick with one.
Stick with one?
Yeah, stick with one. Don't because it's gonna be like scatterbrained, really. If I were to be like in ecom and I were to be in like real estate at the same time, I wouldn't have like one expertise on one niche. It'd be hard for me to like really understand my ideal client. So yeah, focus on one niche. One niche, you'll know exactly your ideal client, who to serve, how to serve. You just be like super honed in on focus rather than just like chasing two rabbits,
All at once. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So if you're starting and you want to get into business, like deliver results in one, identify your ideal avatar and then just deliver that result to that person. Just don't chase two rabbits out all at once.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, bro, I'm interested, like just kind of transitioning to a different topic is, I'm pretty sure you're like, have you ever experienced self-doubt?
Dude, heck yeah. That's just all process.
Yeah. Dude, how do you handle it? Like how are like experience and then just how do you handle it?
Yeah, man. Like with self-doubt at the beginning, I mean, I feel like it's unnatural to have to not have self-doubt. Like this is a new, like look at it this way, like you don't know any business knowledge at all. All you did was stumble upon an Iman Gadget ad and now you want to make 10K a month. Obviously you're going to have doubt because you never had 10K a month. You never had a client and you never, started a business before, so having self-doubt is totally fine. So that's like one thing. And how to handle it is like, really how I handled it was knowing that the process that I am doing works because I had a coach. Like he's gone through the process. So it's literally just like a matter of time so that I sign a client. And imperfect action. That's like the most important thing. Imperfect action, consistency, and just realizing, what like this process works. So I'm just going to stay consistent at it and just like work until, I sign my first client. So that's exactly what I did.
So just making sure that even though you have the self-doubt, it's natural, knowing it's natural. And
it's definitely natural. Like the self-doubt doesn't go away. I'm sure people that are like 100K a month have some kind of self-doubt. But it's not to the extent of like, how do I sign my first client? Will I sign my first client? Like it's 100% natural. I even have self-doubt at times. Like that's just how it works. It's honestly like I see it as like you're on the right path because like what you're doing is so big. Like it's like you're doing something like so like bigger than yourself that it's like scary. It's doubtful. But like in terms of that, take that imperfect action, stay consistent, and then you build something bigger than yourself, you know?
Okay. What are some habits that you have that you think that played a big part on where you're at right now?
I would say, honestly, like just really just going back to it, like the habit of just like staying consistently working on my business, consistently working on my agency. Like if I were to only work when I would felt like it, like if I were to only work like when I had that perfect feeling of motivation, then I would not even be signing my first client. You know, like it took me probably like when I was really focusing, it took me like a month to sign my first client. I'm like, whoa. It took me. I was like 4 years before I signed my first client, and if I stayed consistent, it only took me a month. Like, why didn't I just stay consistent for a month? I would have had like imagine like 1 month times 4 years. How many clients would I have had? You know, if I just stayed consistent for that entire time. So yeah, the biggest thing was like consistency, just like taking that action day in, day out, no matter how much I feel, because yeah, like honestly, like as men, you gotta just like not listen to your emotions. You just gotta put in that work. You think like our ancestors didn't want to go to war and they wanted to, you know, drink some tea. They had to do what they had to do, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%, man.
With your business, you know? Your big why. Tea. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like exactly. Like if like you gotta do what you want to, like you gotta take that action. You know, if your big why is to, you know, like retire your parents, then that, you know, that business is not only for you, but it's for your parents as well. So now you have to put in that work. And that's why I think emphasizing having like a strong why, which is I learned from TJ when we went to Seattle, like have a why. Because if your why is very low standard, then you'll only attract low standard goals, low level of like work ethic. But if your why is like, dude, I got to retire my parents and write them a, you know, $300,000 check, you know, so then you have to put in the work every day because you need to do these things, you know. So having that strong why really separates like your actual like work ethic and just like putting in the work daily.
What's your why right now?
Retiring my parents.
Retire parents?
Because yeah, like before my why was wanting to get an apartment. But if I were to, you know, retire my parents and that be my why and write them like a $300,000 check, I'm obviously going to have an apartment, my own apartment. You know, I'm obviously going to do all these things because they're just going to come either way as I write my parents a $300,000 check. So yeah.
So how about failures? What are some failures that you have faced and how important was it now and where you're at?
Yeah, I think failures are like the most important thing, really. It's kind of like the same thing where I said, you know, how many no's does it take you to get to a yes? That's exactly how I see failures. You know, if I fail this amount of times, then cool, let's run through all these failures and get to my win. You know. So, and like my biggest failures I've seen was probably like in business specifically was just like not getting it right throughout all those 4 years. And, you know, that pain of just like disappointing myself and really just disappointing my parents. Like I told them that I was going to sign some clients and make some money, but obviously I didn't. So that pain, you know, led into the passion of me wanting to scale so fast and provide for them. So that's why, you know, I scaled, you know, in 3 months in the beginning of my journey. So that's exactly like what it was. Like failure is very important because you can turn that pain into passion, you know, shout out Polo G, but yeah, you can turn that pain into passion. Just like really just like hone in on that, because if you have no failures, then you have no real drive to like want to succeed. You know, it's kind of like that villain origin story, how I see it. So you need something that fuels you for sure in the beginning, whether that be something kind of like, whether that be envy, honestly, whether that be something kind of like twisted, it's totally fine. Whatever gets the car started, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, I think that's like big because at the beginning, like people, we all have those like things we want to do, people we want to prove. But at the core root of it, you know, make sure it's for you. Like make sure like you need to do it and you are actually going to scale it. not so much to prove these people wrong, but because you want to become successful. It's kind of like the same thing where you have that strong why. If you want to succeed because you want to prove your ex wrong, then it's going to be a little bit harder for you to scale. But if you actually like want to grow a business and just like ramp that up, you're going to make 10K, 20K, 30K, 100K a month. And, making your ex jealous is just going to be a byproduct, So that's like the biggest thing. Like, yeah, I would say like those two for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Going backtrack too, because you told me your why right now is retire parents and you want to write them a $300,000 check. A lot of people would say, whoa, now let's get realistic here. And a lot of people are like that. And I encountered a lot too, be like, yo, slow down. You're young, take your time. And it's like, sure, right? You can take your time. Like we do have a lot of time in our time, but in our hand. But the thing is, it's different. Like it's so different. There's so many people that says slow down. But what do you think about that? And what do you say? Where do you stand on that one?
Yeah, like slow down for what? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna slow down for? Go on my bed and watch TikTok? Like what will I literally what will I slow down for? Like other than being the best version of myself and scaling my business, like what else would I do?
Oh, they were like, oh, you should make memories with your friends.
Yeah,
take time.
Okay. Yeah, so there's two things with that. So there's seasons. There's seasons to, fully cut off anybody and just like focus on your vision. That's exactly what I did in the beginning. My mom, I remember she went in my room. She's like, "Are you depressed?" I'm like, "No, I'm just focused." But yeah, so willing to just like be super focused on your business. No, don't even hang out with people. Really, just like you really need to have that focus in because like you're on this journey so far. So you're in the season of pushing. So that's like the biggest thing. You need to have that season of pushing, and whether that be cutting people off, that's totally fine because you're in that season of growth. But also, I definitely understand that you do have to have memories. I think it's hand in hand, to be honest. Like, have that focus work and then have that time where you can spend time with friends and family, go on a trip with some friends and family. But that's all within time, like all within timing.
100%.
It's not like you can, get wasted every single weekend, every single day and hang out with your friends every single weekday as well. You're not going to have any time for business, but rather than having focused work all throughout the week and even most weekends as well. And then you can, set some kind of time aside as well, like throughout the weekend, having it structured is what I'm trying to say. Having it more so structured and having your priorities straight that, okay, this is my focus. Business is my focus. And that's like what I'm doing right now. Cause like I was so focused on business in the beginning. Like I didn't want to hang out with anybody. I didn't want to do anything, but then also I'm like, I think experiences are a very big thing. And I think some people should have them. That's a really big thing. But that's why, I'm going on a trip this weekend or this trip this week rather. And I'm also like having very focused work, so it's all within like more so a priority, not so much balance. That's like the biggest thing, but in terms of like slowing down, like what am I going to slow down for? Like really like, what's the point of slowing down so that I can do it in 5 years and wish I did it 5 years less ago and wish I did slow down. Like what's the point really? Like,
yeah, that's your message for people who are saying slow down, bro.
What are you going to slow down? That's just your excuse for wanting to be lazy. Like really, like take advantage of your 20s.
Because we have so much energy. Like, why would they slow down? This is the thing I'm struggling to understand, right? Like, why slow down now? This is the time where you have so much energy that even though you have few hours of sleep, you could still perform. Yeah, because you won't have that luxury in like down the road.
Facts.
You need to have your fixed schedule of hours so you can function properly. But now it's so fast. Like our body can recover so quick that like I could take this advantage right now instead of like wasting my life away. Because I could make memories once better memories. Like I would just say like better memories when, because financial freedom, and then you can go anywhere you want, and just locationally wise, you could work anywhere you want. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to be tied down in just one thing, because a lot of people too are saying like, you don't need a lot of money to be happy. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But you can't say that until you have money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, I think, yeah, like you honestly, like, I think you do need to have, not to be happy, but you do need to have a lot of money to experience life, because like life and business is like a spiritual journey. So if you have freedom, money will give you that freedom.
Right.
You're able to like go to the places you travel, work remotely, meet new people, have experiences, do that. That's what money will provide. So it's like, it's kind of like side by side with that. It's gonna provide a lot.
Yeah, 100%. And I just feel like, like our society, there's so many things that's so skewed about it. Like we've been told so many lies, so many brainwashing that happened, and people just accept it. It's normal.
Crazy.
What are some things that you see in the society where you don't follow it, but it's kind of might be controversial, but hey, I'm all for it, bro.
Whatever. Yeah. So something that society, God, where do I start? Right.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I'd say this entire coronavirus thing. That's a big one, honestly, because like they literally stripped your freedom away. Like they literally stripped your freedom away. You couldn't go outside. And when you had to go outside, they forced you to wear something, even though it's like, it's kind of like messed up in that sense. Like seeing kids just like running around where they don't need to be in this current situation. Like really, like they're conditioning kids to live in fear. That's like the craziest thing. And they're conditioning you to live in fear, and we're making it okay for them to really just like do whatever we want. Let them do whatever they want. So that was my biggest thing. Like this is wrong. Like this can't be right.
Yeah, what's funny about that too? It's like, oh, they're saying, oh, like, well, how about the people that a lot of people died about it in coronavirus? Like, we're not saying that not a lot of people died in it.
Yeah,
it's totally. Just the way they send it in the mainstream media. It's just like
100%.
They're censoring. Okay, it might be it's not theory, man. Like, there's this I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast. There's this doctor, right? He's the head of like the vaccines and stuff like that, and then they fired him. He was the most experienced. The people who's in charge on like distributing the, bro, I'm getting controversial here, but the people who was distributing the vaccines, they weren't really even master or like the people who has like no knowledge on what they're doing, and then they were censoring the things that, oh, you just need these things to actually battle the virus. But they're like, it's weird, man. But hey, I got the 2 doses, man. It's like I had to go because I gotta go to Singapore, go to Philippines, visit my family, and it was required. And it was interesting because the whole thing is just interesting the way it is. But yeah, anyways, going to a different topic, man. How about news? Do you watch news? Because
no,
I know you told me about you don't watch news.
I mean, it's literally a distraction, right? Like it's all fear-based. It's literally like propaganda, So like, why would I spend my time focusing on something that's so one-sided, but also so fear-based? That's just going to take up my space where I could be focusing on having a good life. That's like really the core of it. Like, what's the point of like watching this where it doesn't serve me at all, like, whatsoever?
Yeah, it's interesting because if we look back in time, the information, like how fast we get the information so quick, especially like bad news. Back then, it takes weeks before they get the information, but now it's just like a matter of seconds. And then it's something plays into our mind about that, and then it programs us to like be more fearing and all these things, right? And the thing is, like, a lot of people saying, "Oh, the world is going to shit," but I mean, like, it depends on your perspective, man. It's all perspective, really.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'd say, yeah, it's definitely perspective. Like it's your choice to look at it how the world is right now. Even at this current situation, you can be like, oh, the world sucks, the government, but if you were to just not focus on the government and just focus on living a good life, then who's the happier one? Which perspective would you want to choose? So
yeah, there's so many things that we've been lied to, and it's just like, to be honest, man, like, also, I don't know, there's so many things. I don't want to get into too much into it, because
I cancel you.
Why? Huh?
We're gonna cancel you.
They're gonna cancel me. I've already been canceled. So.
Oh shit.
But the thing is, the reason why I'm talking about this is because in business, you need a lot of, your mind capacity is limited, and you need to put a lot of energy on what you're building. And if you're constantly distracted, then you cannot build something.
Yeah.
You have so much more limit. So that's why I wanted to share with you guys, like, what are some things that you do on a daily basis, Jeremy, like, to build your business?
Yeah, like good things that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say is like, in the beginning of my journey, I would, like, let's say I'm waiting for a sales call. Let's say I have 1 hour till I do something, like 1 hour till I do my next task. I would just go on my phone for an hour, watch YouTube, stuff like that. But now I'm not entirely cutting YouTube off. I'm just saving it for later in the day, So rather than like having it to where I have like pockets of like time where I can just like go on my phone and just like do that. That ruins focus like so bad. So instead, I just like, after all my work is done, after I go to the gym, I'll go home, re-download YouTube or re-download TikTok in this case.
Right.
And just like watch for like a little bit. I do need to get better at this. That's one thing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this our call Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday. But yeah, I do need to get better at that. But I think like the biggest thing was like I was able to, like, okay, no TikTok throughout the entire day, or no YouTube throughout the entire day. We can only watch and have that entertainment after my work is done. And I've seen my work, become very, very focused after that. So
100%. It's so important, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's this book that I'm reading right now, Deep Work. I'm getting the idea and concept that he's explaining. It was just something about how we're living in a distracted society, that it's more than ever now that having like deep, like the really deep work is so important that people would pay for it. And yeah, it's just like having this, removing distractions while you're doing work. And that's why I'm doing this challenge too. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like the 90-day deep work challenge, where I put my phone away, like I take it off. So that's been helping me a lot on like eliminating watching my TikTok. Because to be honest, before this, like this momentum that I'm building right now, like the hours I spent, like every time I look at my screen time, I just feel like shit, man, because it was so bad. It was just bad, man. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel purposeful. I feel like I was so misaligned with my why, and my energy was so drained. And then there's just like, I was easily distracted. It's just all these things. I was like, okay, how do I get out of this? And then it all started with breaking all down. And then one of the biggest things that really helped me actually get something moving is eliminating my phone and putting it away, bro.
Yeah, like it's crazy. If you can eliminate your phone, like if you can just like be disciplined with your phone, it knocks off like every other thing that you need to focus on, like better sleep. Because if you're up at 3 a.m., it's because you're on your phone, probably, right? Just like watch TikTok. So if you eliminate, like remove your phone from your environment, you knock off sleep. you know, and just knock off so many things. Like the phone is really just like the virus that if you're able to control it, then you've won the game, I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. But yeah, moving in a different topic, bro. Like I want to kind of get to know you more, a little bit more better. How are you mentally, and just how you been?
um, I could be better.
Feel better?
I could be better. I'm not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could push a lot harder. Self-discipline is a big thing, but I could be better at it. I'm not where I want to be, so I'm not satisfied. That's the big, like, I can't, like, I'm just not satisfied. Like I should be going harder. I think that's one of my biggest things. Like that's why I see being hard on yourself is valuable, because you can push yourself through limits, and when you don't, you can really I guess like destroy yourself so that you can get it right the next time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a good way of going about it, but I guess it works.
And to just remind everybody just listening, is Jeremy is 19 years old, man, and he's built a profitable business from ground up, and he's still like, like that's why I respect you a lot too, bro, because you're still working on yourself while you're building this business away. And even though you don't feel like, I'm pretty sure there's like some the way I see it is like you're working on yourself, but you're still moving the needle in the business, even though you're like, there's some things that you're working on right now. And a lot of people, the way they're like, oh, I gotta, and then personally for me too, I was like this too, is, oh, I gotta work on my mentality first before I build the business and stuff like that. I feel like it was an excuse to work on the business. Like it's not work on my mind and then work on the business. It should be work on the business and then it's gonna fix it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's all gotta take that imperfect action. Literally, all that is like I would think I used to be like that too. Like if I do this, then my business will fail and I won't perform well. But then the next day, I'll sign a client. I'm like, oh, I was just I didn't feel my best, but I still took action. And I signed a client. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I realized that. I'm like, so it really is just about imperfect action, But then if you also think about it, like if I didn't do some kind of bad habit, then imagine how much more clients I could sign. So it's like working hand in hand with it as well. But really at the core of it, it's like imperfect action. There's like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that make a lot of money and, serve a ton of good like clients to their best ability, but have some shitty habits and do drugs,
Yeah.
So yeah, like nobody's perfect, but also like always imperfect action, and also, like just nobody's perfect. There's some people that really need help with certain things. Some people, a lot of rich people probably just like, need some kind of like mental rewiring.
Right.
It's not all like, it's people are imperfect. That's just how it is,
Yeah. No, it's so true. That's why I see it too. I guess why I really enjoy business too is just because it feels like you're working like for yourself, and then like personally, and then on the business you're like working on bettering yourself in general. I feel like that's just how business is. You're just working on yourself. That's how I see it.
100%. That's a good way to see it, because business, and because like it's a direct representation of yourself. If you're willing to put in work with yourself, then you're willing to put in work in your business, and how much you're willing to put in, and then your standard of living becomes your standard of clients, your standard of your business, stuff like that. So it's like very, like it works very intertwined.
Right. How about what's your relationship like with your family?
Yeah, I'd say we have a pretty good relationship. Some like, yeah, I'd say I said there's no like bad blood
Mm-hmm.
with like the family that, you know, I talk to really. Like I'm very close with my sister, with my like one of my older sisters, Cameron. I'm very close with her, you know. Um, I'm close with my dad and my mom, more so my mom. I could be closer with my dad, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, but also like sometimes I'm very focused on work. So
Right.
I don't know if I should be closer with them,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, because they just went on a trip, you know, but I needed to work, you know, but honestly, like I didn't regret that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw like, okay, I need to focus right now.
It's
You know?
the those sacrifices that you're making right now that's gonna bear fruit
Yeah,
later down the line.
yeah, this sacrifice is gonna help me write them a $300,000 check, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. I feel like some people have this misconception to the he's being selfish, and it's hard, man, because when you're working on something, right, and then your main purpose is they're aligned with the people that you love.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there's this misconception. They're like, he's working on it and he doesn't want to spend time with us. Like, I would love to spend time with you guys, but I have to work on this first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like going to a point where like like another big thing that I've realized recently is like, it's okay to be misunderstood. You're never going to be fully understood. I get called arrogant sometimes. I get called, you know, ego or whatever sometimes, but that stems from, if you look at it, like I used to be the exact opposite. You know, I didn't want to be myself, and now to a point where I love being myself. It's like, okay, if I can have that sacrifice of being the best version of me, and maybe one person that out of, you know, the week will call me arrogant, then, you know, that's just how it is. It's kind of like that's the benefit, and like it's a very high benefit, but it's like a high benefit, but the non-benefit is just somebody calling you out, calling you an asshole, maybe something like that. But
how do you block out the noise, man?
I just don't, honestly, like I don't surround myself with people that don't have the right goals in place. Like in high school, I wanted to surround myself with anybody, even if they hated me, because I was so lonely. But now it's just like I'm very articulate with people I hang out with, and I'm very expressive also. I express myself a lot. And if you don't like me being expressive, then it doesn't really matter, because I'm trying to express myself. If I don't say a certain thing, even though it's like very random and annoying, I don't care. I'm trying to express myself, and I'm doing myself a favor, because Jeremy from high school didn't express himself whatsoever.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's just that part of growth as well. And I think that's what friendship is. Like you accepting the person who they are, and it's not just like the good part. You're also accepting them as a person, like the bad part too, man. Mm-hmm. You can't just pick and choose.
Exactly. Like, dude, it's funny because that's exactly what it is. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure I know the shit out of my friends sometimes, but you know, it's all in good health. It's just for fun. And we have deep talk as well, but we also get wasted also, you know? Yeah. So it's like, just like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like that's the thing on friendship is there's definitely a lot of hard talks, and it's just like brothers, right? Like you got your quarrels here and there, but at the end of the day, you guys are bros. Like,
yeah, facts.
Yeah, man. How's what's your plans with girls, bro? Like family wise?
You said girls?
Yeah. Are you thinking about it right now, or not really?
I think I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
to be honest, you could. Pretty sure you got some bang, bro. You can take care of someone like right now, right? Or
well, I want to scale to a certain point where I actually look, you know, where I actually like want to have somebody in my life. Like I want to scale to a certain point where, you know, it's completely consistent, and my baseline level is like set. Like a baseline revenue is set.
What's your baseline revenue?
Baseline revenue is 10K.
Okay.
I cannot dip below that, and it has to be consistent. That's when I will look at, having someone into my life,
Okay. So you just want to have like the baseline of 10K, and that's when you're going to possibly think about.
Yeah. Like I'm honestly baseline's 10K, can like make that baseline consistent as well. And that's when I will like want to bring someone into my life. But also, like, if you look at it, because again, business and life is like direct correlation within each other. So 10K per month baseline Jeremy is going to be, a way better man towards his woman than 5K a month fluctuating Jeremy, 5K a month, inconsistent Jeremy. So that's another way to look at it. I want to be the best version of myself too. And also I want to be at a consistent revenue mark for that I can provide as well. But yeah, and sometimes like when I'm in LA, because on Sundays or Saturdays, like I'll go on night drives sometimes. And yeah, I'll look at views and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, we sick to have like a girl here, right? Like we sick to have my woman here. So sometimes I do think about it like that. But I'd say like,
I mean, I think it's all nature. Like as a man, you'd want someone to be there, but also I'm pretty sure you're thinking about like your priorities right now is what's important and what's driving you. And personally for me right now, it's more of a like, I gotta focus on this, and I gotta, it's interesting because when I'm out of line with my purpose, it's like I'm longing for that, like, oh, I got a relationship so bad. I'm trying to get with the girl, but when I'm with the line with my purpose, it's interesting. It's I don't even think about it. I'm just so obsessed on what I'm doing, and then because I'm like the mental capacity, like what I said, you have just so much. And when you're thinking about it, I'm like, there's so much that I want to do before I get there. But like around what age? Give me a ballpark.
Yeah. Well, I'm 19.
Marriage, bro. Marriage.
Dude, I have no problem getting married early.
Yeah.
I think my beliefs shifted a lot. I feel like towards marriage, because like if you look at it this way, if I were to get married early, then my focus wouldn't be on other women, trying to find another woman, on just like seeking another woman, validation from another woman. I just have my woman already at that young age. So I can focus that other energy on, yes, my woman that I have now, but more so just like on the business, on other things, and not have like a distraction. Cause like men, like main things we do, a lot of it is for women, like, cause men are at war. It's for their women that they want.
Exactly.
So if you have that at that young age, you can have so much other focus on your business and building that up and just being the best version of yourself on top of that, when you already have that woman by your side,
Yeah, 100%. What's funny about that too is like women do set the standards on the SMB, the sexual marketplace. It's man, like the standard is pretty high right now, and I feel like the main motivation at the beginning, I was just like, oh, I want to make sure I'm portrayed outside like this, right? And then for me, that was like kind of like, I'm self-aware that was the main reasons why I got into it. And eventually, once I'm growing, I'm being more self-aware that I have to eliminate that vision, because like if I keep finding validations from other people, then I'll never be satisfied. And that's how I see business now. It's just like a self journey with myself and being able to help other people, and just mainly just growing with myself. Because for me, like purpose changes, and like you said, it's also seasonal. Anyways, I got a few more questions, man. What would you say to your younger self if you could give him some advice?
Yeah.
That Jeremy that was not taking action, that was just learning courses, but it wasn't taking action.
I would say to my younger self, I would say, yeah, you'll be okay. Like, don't stress. Like, you'll be fine. You'll have a good life. You'll grow into the person you want to be, and then because that's an ever like a journey. Like I'm still like I'm proud of who I became or become, but there's so much more. Same thing with being a man. There's
100%.
Yeah, I would say like, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll find you'll find yourself, you find your people, you'll get this agency right. The people that you're hanging out with, you're gonna look back and say, why did I ever spend time with them? Why did I ever even want to talk to them, really? Yeah. But yeah, I just don't like, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll get things right. That's like the main thing. Because
right. Love that, bro.
Yeah, like I remember in the beginning, like I would, because again, that vision just never died. Right. I was so like, bro, ignorance is bliss, that I just knew that I was going to make it right. And that flame never lit out, even though I wasn't doing it for maybe like 2 years, I put it off for like a year fighting demons or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they expect something in return in a month, month 2, month 3. I'm like, nah, man, you got to put in the work. And then there's going to be a lot of up and downs, and you're going to be so close. And also like, I'm in the journey, man. That's why I'm documenting everything too.
Amazing.
It's interesting. I want to look back in this in, I don't know, 3 to 5 years where I'm at. And I'm like, yeah, that's where you were at. And yeah. I'm like the same thing with you. When we had that talk at Seattle, man, that was mad helpful. Like I thank you guys for that. And I appreciate you guys. It's especially you, man. You gave it all, man.
Gotcha, bro.
I'm like, shit, like what you guys told me was just so valuable, and I'm like, I took that to heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, working it's a process.
Dude, it's relatable. That's why I know the journey. I know the process. I know the mental rewiring. I know what your people are facing at that beginning age, especially like we're same age, especially at that age, like what we are. Like I know what it takes, what people have in mind. Because like honestly, like if I could do it, anybody can do it, as long as
exactly
that sounds. As much distraction that I had, as inconsistent in the beginning that I was, as much procrastination, and honestly, just like distractions. Like I low-key think probably have like ADHD or something. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like as much as like, that is like, if I can do it, you can do it. And I know like what got me from having all those distractions to where I am now. So yeah, it's like mental retweaking is what it really is.
Exactly. How do you want to be remembered in this world?
Damn. It's a good question, dude. I just want to be remembered as somebody that gave it his all, and no matter what it was, no matter if it's like coaching, just no matter what I did, I just gave my all. Something that I'm still striving to do, even at where I am at, and someone that just was very expressive and lit the room up when I got there. Just made everybody have a good time, made everyone just cheer up, made everyone feel heard. That's what I want to be remembered for. Somebody that brings joy into people's lives, happiness in people's lives, just like makes them feel expressed. If I can do that, then my job is done.
Job is done.
I feel like Cause yeah, sorry, but I feel like
Good.
sometimes like I look-y think I could be I kind of think I'm a vessel for people that aren't who they want to be in terms of like expressiveness. You know, they aren't the person that they want to portray as their younger selves, kind of like socially anxious, stuff like that. I kind of want to be that person that's like, just show them, you know, just like I've been through, we're going through. Like I was talking to a teacher about this. Like I've gone through stuff that I can't even explain mentally, that I've never told like really anybody. And if I could tell them, I don't even know how to explain it. Like to this day, like, well, what did I just go through? You know? So yeah, I just want to be that vessel for people that just like go through stuff and just like show them like what's possible right after and how much like you can do and just express yourself and just become a person with so many stuff like held against you. Even confidence, like even woman wise, just all that kind of stuff, really just like show what's possible, what's like life wise, mental wise, woman wise, expressive wise, just mental wise, everything. With so many things, you know, held against you. You just want to show people that what's possible after and become that vessel for them. Yeah.
Exactly. Bro, I got a couple more, man.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be, or where would you be in 5 years?
Where I'll be in 5 years is, I'd say, I don't know if I'll even be in LA. You know, I think I'd be with the woman that I want to be with. I would be, you know, my parents would be retired and I'm living probably somewhere in, I don't know about America, maybe Europe. I don't know.
Europe. Yeah.
Europe. But yeah, somewhere, and then have that journey of like, okay, I served a ton of these people and have that business just like scale up on top of it. Just like take Nomad Consulting to like I have like this is like I have to like this is like my have to is I have to take Nomad Consulting to 1 million a year. Like I literally have to, like it's no question, you know. Like it's because I had this talk with Trey. We were in Malibu together. We were having dinner, and I was telling him how slow the month was. Like it was just, you know, soul destroyingly slow, you know. And he's like, okay, like he was like, damn, like, you know, he's telling me like the first 2K sale you make, whatever niche it is, whatever it may be, whatever it be Facebook ads or anything, like whatever business you sign your client for 2K, that's the business you have to take to $1 million a year. And I signed my 2K client with Nomad Consulting, the client acquisition business I have right now. So now I have to take it to $1 million a year. Like even no matter what, if it's wonky, like I have to take it to $1 million a year, no matter like how imperfect it is, no matter how weird I feel with it, how like no matter what's not in place. Yeah, no matter what's not in place.
Your responsibility. It's your duty.
Yeah, and no matter if I have a bad reputation with Nomad Consulting, I have to take it to $1 million a year. Like it's not even like a question because I literally have to. You know.
Yeah, it's like you can't. If not, you die. Yeah.
No, really. Like.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's the mindset. Is I have to take it to $1 million a year. If I get if whatever happens to it, if something's not in place with it, if something's imperfect with it, if I get a bad reputation with it again, then whatever, I have to take it to $1 million a year. And if there's some imperfect stuff in place, then whatever, I'm taking it to $1 million a year. You know, like I'm still taking it to $1 million a year.
All right.
Yeah,
man, it's gonna happen, bro. You know, we got your back. A lot of people got your back, bro. We're gonna make it happen for sure.
Let's do it.
Any last words, man?
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I want to ask that.
Oh, you're asking me, the host?
Yeah. I want to see where you're at.
Man, Where would I be in 5 years? I'd be 25 in 5 years.
Yeah, same.
Bro, to be honest, I just know for a fact that I have I'm traveling the world probably, bro.
Yeah.
I'm traveling the world and probably I have so many in my mind going through right now, right? Like, where would I be in 5 years? The thing about it is, I'm doing this podcast and I'm building the agency, and I have so much more, and I have plans. Like, everybody says, like you said, like you can't chase two rabbits all at once. And for me, I'm focusing on building the agency first, and then eventually I want to scale this content creation where I could reach more people. Like, so I'm traveling the world. I have like a setup recurring monthly thing to my mom's bank account, and then probably going to some conventions for talking to like thousands of people in front of me.
Fire. Yeah.
That's really where I see myself in 5 years, and I'm probably still gonna be working on the EPM media, and then it's gonna be. What's interesting is because you're giving me new insights. So you said you have to put it in a 1 million a year, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was like my agency is probably doing 100K per month, and then also like the content creation, my personal brand is just really big. That is probably bringing me around like 100K per month.
Yeah.
Too. So in total, that's gonna be like 350K per month.
Done. That's literally like, now it's just like getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the ups and downs, and then the mental rewirings, and just getting there. Like, it's just like a matter of time.
Right. And to just for people who's listening, if you've made it this far, is the reason why I'm putting it in numbers and just money wise is because it's the most easiest way to measure where you're at currently. And for sure, it could be like, oh, I've helped like thousands of people and stuff like that. But the most measurable way to see your success is money, and then it's just a measuring stick for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like that. Like 5 years, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. This podcast is gonna be big. Probably it's gonna be worldwide. I'm gonna be going through the way actually I was seeing it is I'm gonna be there in California, fully booked, and I'm just collaborating with certain founders, and then just discussing them like this, like just talking to them.
Yeah.
But it's in person.
It's amazing. Yeah, like having big stuff like that, like having big goals is really like what you got to do. Like having stuff that scares you, because $1 million a year almost scares me, but like, yeah, like another thing is like, I wanted like a goal that scares me, and something that's like out of this world, not right. Out of this world, just like something big is like, I want to teach men how to come out of certain situations, whether it be mentally, and get like their woman, just be like the man that they want to become. That's my big goal. Like that's my, like one of my biggest goals. Like I like with my situation, and then getting everything that I want, whether it be, the woman that I want, lifestyle that I want, person I want to become, man that I want to become, how to, teach other men to be like that. Everything that's held against me, and everything, even like when people have stuff held against them too, how to teach them how to come on top of that and get everything they ever wanted, and become whoever they've ever wanted to become as well.
Right. I think, yeah, in short term, right, the way I see in 5 years, my status in life is I have some influence. That's like the short summary of it. Like I have influence where when I speak something, there's some changes that could happen, and it's actually impactful.
Yeah, I like that. Influence.
That's really it. It was just like, because I really love helping people. A lot of people helped me since I was a kid, and I want to do the same with other people. So that's how I just see it. It was the fastest way for me to help people in volume, is having some influence when you say something.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good one. Influence. Yeah.
But yeah, bro, Jeremy, I appreciate you being in this podcast. That's it for today's podcast. I hope you guys found something valuable in it. I really enjoyed our talk.
Yep.
And I appreciate you a lot as a friend. And you've taught me a lot as well. And I really wish you the best of luck, man. I know you're gonna crush it.
Yes, sir. Let's crush it together. Let's do this.
Yes, sir. All right. That's it for today's podcast. I appreciate you guys listening. Peace.